What's going on, drinking buddies? Hey, it's Friday night. I'm sorry that this episode's getting too late. The laptop crashed when I went to upload the episode. I'm currently recovering the hard drive, and thankfully we didn't lose a bunch of shows, so I'm super stoked about that. But today's also been a little bit of a bummer. If you haven't heard the news, which I don't understand how you're downloading this off the internet, if you haven't, Anthony Bourdain took his own life, and it's bumming me out that, I normally don't give a fuck about celebrity deaths. I really don't. But Anthony Bourdain was so inspirational. The man had such a lust for life that I feel it's only appropriate that I, and hopefully you, we're going to knock one back to him real quick. So, cheers to you, Mr. Bourdain. Thank you for all the travel. Thank you for being inspirational. I have more thoughts on this, but I'm not trying to make this about me. Not in this moment. So I'm going to take one more drink, and then we're going to get into the episode. This week's episode is my homie Brad Knight. Brad's an adult star, known for getting his dick sucked on film. What a rough life. Being famous for getting your dick sucked. Good on him, man. Good on him. Now, this one we recorded back in fucking April. We recorded it on Easter. So it gets a little sacrilegious. We talk a little bit of shit about the resurrection of Christ. We talk about some travel to Mexico. This was a super fun one. We had a good fucking time. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm not going to bother with ad reads since the episode's late. We'll be back on our Thursday schedule because it really stresses me out that we didn't have this out on time. So, without any further ado, Mr. Brad Knight, ladies and gentlemen.
When aliens come to take over, they look at us like we're out of our minds now. We're gonna galactic makeover, and now we're thinking that they just might be right. I cannot wait for this whole world to end. I'm gonna break out the bottle with my friends. I think they'll tell the best stories when we're gone. And now we drink.
Awesome. Very good.
Pour yourself a nice little beverage.
Oh, yes, absolutely. A tasty little beverage here. I'm very, very happy with this. Thank you, sir, for getting this, by the way.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yes, yes.
Podcast number 2 on Lord's birthday, or his resurrection day.
Yes, right. He rose from the dead today. That's right.
So, did the cave give birth to him at that point then?
I don't think so. I think he was just maybe a light came through and he was just resurrected that way. I don't know what the fuck.
So he just was on a bender and had a massive hangover.
Yeah, and he's just like, guys, give me 3 days. We'll be fine. We're good. And then that's it.
If I could turn water into wine, I'd have hangovers like that all the time.
I would literally have a hangover every single night of my life.
I think at some point you would develop a tolerance. I don't know. How sugary of a wine do you think
I'm
Jesus
pretty
makes?
sure you could control the alcohol content if you can turn water into wine. You just keep upping it every single time. You just have this 100 proof wine by the end of it, and you're just like, man, that guy Jesus, he makes some good shit.
Jesus breaks out punishment shots. He's
Right?
I dare you to take a shot of this.
Right. It's like black. It looks like coffee.
But seriously, does Jesus make white or red wine?
It's definitely red from what we've seen and been told.
Well, why can the Son of God only make red wine?
Because apparently you're drinking his blood, which makes it even weirder. Yeah. So it's like, you are now drinking my blood, my children. All your sins are forgiven. It's like, wait, what? We have to be vampires in order to be forgiven of our... So you're saying we have to kill someone and drink their blood, and then we get forgiven of all our sins?
You don't necessarily have to kill him. It could be like his period blood.
I guess. Yeah, I don't... Or it's like some kind... You have to drink his blood, and then you're somehow forgiven. I don't understand...
Come on, Jesus, make some champagne. I want to be forgiven with bubbly.
I know. You'd think the girls would be a little less I don't want to drink your blood, dude. That's disgusting. 21st century Jesus would definitely not work. Would be like, drink my blood, child. Your sins will be forgiven. Do you have any rosé?
Mimosas.
Do you have any mimosas? I could use a mimosa.
It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I need a mimosa.
I need my forgiveness with my brunch, okay? And red wine does not go with my eggs, all right?
Definitely not. The blood of Christ does not go with eggs.
The blood of Christ does not go with an omelet in the morning, kids.
Important life lessons.
Yes, important life lessons from the Lord himself. Learn and let learn.
Dude, what have you been up to? You just got back from Mexico.
That's right. I just did, and they what I do when I go down there, I go to Tijuana, and what I do when we're rolling, right?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm just completely asking you this about off mic while I talk into the mic.
Fuck. So I go down there. There's a actual soccer league down there, like for the entire Football, yes, football. I guess they would call it Football del Mexicano. It's like the Mexican league, and the Mexican league is actually really interesting. I've just been learning about this over the past month. They actually have 2 seasons, but it's the length of like one normal season. So technically, you can be the champion of the league twice.
How often does that happen?
It actually happened really recently. The what is it? The Cholos actually have done it the last...
Wait, they have a team called the Cholos.
Yes.
Really?
They have a team called Cholos, yes. It's spelled Xolos, the Tijuana Cholos.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that is goddamn ridiculous. And seriously, how many cartel members are sitting like on the side of the field being like, you better let that goal in?
Oh, it's literally like, dude, the class system in Mexico is so nuts. Like, they actually have this thing, right? So you're in the stadium. And the stadium is, a stadium. It's round, all that thing. But they're doing construction on the one side. So technically, it's like more of a U shape. So that also actually helps these people. They have this specific section. It's like green in this all red stadium because the stadium is actually owned by the casino, which is next door, called Caliente.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's the casino is literally right next to the. To the thing, and they have like racetracks and all that stuff there. And also, these people are just worth so much money that they literally pay for their seats, and they also pay the organization to not put them on TV, because if they were seen on TV and the thing, like, people would actually go up to them and like start haggling them for money and shit.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like, these people have so much money that like, and it's funny because you have the stadium is kind of like in the middle of the whole thing, so you have like all the houses on this hill over here where there's like the rich people and all their houses, and they're like $multi-million houses and all this stuff. Then you have the stadium, and then you have the favelas, like the lower class housing with all like the tin roofs and all that stuff. And then it's so ridiculous.
A $multi-million home in Mexico must be insane.
It is, and you can get one literally for like it's $150,000, like in American wise. You can get a house on the beach like for 4 bedrooms for like $200,000. It's nuts over there.
So can we legally shoot porn in Mexico?
I believe we could.
Then why are we just not moving the industry to Mexico?
I honestly would not be a bad move. I would just think the passports would probably be an issue for most of the girls. Don't think they have a passport. Wouldn't be hard to get, but just that whole issue. And then I don't know, man. It's. I think also to buy we'd have to like rent out the house or something, because to buy property in Mexico you have to be like born in Mexico. I also came to find that out.
So how do fucking? I feel like there's some American celebrities that have houses in Mexico.
I'm sure that they do, and then maybe they talk to someone that like maybe their real estate agent was like, worked out a deal with somebody that did that somebody owned the land or something like that. I don't know, but
like everything in life, there's exceptions if you're really rich.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they just paid enough, and they were like, okay, well, you get a fucking house.
Yeah. Welcome to being a Mexican citizen.
Hey, dual citizenship, baby. What's up? Like, I just could not imagine having. It would be awesome just to have like a 5-bedroom house that you paid once for. It's not like you're paying property tax down in Mexico either.
Even if you are. Okay.
It's what, like nothing?
I'm sure it's something, but
it's not a lot. Not bad.
A couple scenes would pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. There's Airbnb is ridiculously popular down there now.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually pretty. I'm pretty sure it's pretty popular in most of Latin America.
Yeah, it is actually now. But the prices and stuff are actually really reasonable. Like, for I think for 2 nights we spent maybe like $130.
What kind of spot?
It was like a 3-bedroom house, and like the interior was like all recently like remodeled and stuff like that. Like clearly somebody had put a lot of money into this house to rent out this house. So
That's pretty fucking awesome.
oh yeah, totally. I was really excited to go down there. It was my especially the first time I went down there because they were playing this team from, it's like the Mexico City team. They're called the Pumas. So they were playing them, and like the Pumas have these ridiculous, like they're sponsored by Coke and Herbalife and all these ridiculous, companies and things like that. And they just they came in, but like then the Cholos just whipped their ass.
Because the Cholos, yo.
They're Cholos, man. It's just so funny how they're called the Cholos, and it's just like they have scarves and everything, like and it says Cholos all over it. Like I got a jersey and a scarf that I wear during the games, and
Too bad there's no player last name Knight.
I know, right? That'd be amazing. It would be amazing. But there's they actually have a really good team, and the whole it's just like being at a tailgate for like a football, American football game or anything like that. You get that atmosphere, and then you get to meet people like that live in Tijuana, and like, you get to see what their lives are like and stuff like that. And Tijuana is just, it's ridiculous how sexualized it is versus here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they basically just are like, you go down the right spots in Tijuana, and girls on the street just getting picked up by dudes in cars literally almost like every 5 minutes, like clockwork.
Well, it's a trade industry down there. I can imagine existing on the border, especially being directly south of San Diego, which is traditionally a military town.
Right. Guys need something.
Yeah.
And it's
got to spend that paycheck.
That's and that's what all my buddies were about. They were, they go to this place called Hong Kong.
I've been to Hong Kong.
Have you been to Hong Kong?
It was horrible. So I went down to Hong Kong, and I did not realize it was a brothel.
Right. But it's a strip club, but they do like dildo shows and like stuff, and you can clearly tell like the girls are just waiting around to get fucked.
Right. See, when I went down there, I thought it was a strip club that prostitution just happened in. Like a lot of strip clubs in America.
You just thought it was a coincidence?
Well, I just thought it was one of those things where like, oh, prostitution happens, the authorities look the other way. I didn't realize it was perfectly legal. Sure, I've told this story on air, but me and my buddies got a booth.
Okay.
And then we had like a whore sommelier. This dude Abel was just like, guys, I'll take care of you. Just pick out your girls. They'll come by the table. As long as you're buying them drinks, they'll hang out at the table.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to buy drinks, keep this girl at the table.
That is a really big thing for them. It's like you have to keep them buying them drink, because they'll come up and be like, she doesn't have a drink. Are you like done with her? Or like
yeah. And the thing about it is, I didn't realize it wasn't like an American strip club, because like you buy a girl a drink in an American, a house girl a drink in an American strip club.
Right.
She's free to leave
leave
your company. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. She's like, oh, you bought me a drink, thanks, bye.
yeah, exactly. I didn't realize that these girls were glued to the table as long as I was buying them drinks.
Yeah, like they literally are your property if you keep buying them drinks.
Right. And my one buddy was all about this one girl. Like, we kind of flagged her down for him. He was a little nervous.
Oh, okay.
And she had a friend, and they're like, this is so fucked up. The first girl that my buddy's into, he's black, and she's just kind of like, tubuku. She was nervous about it.
Oh.
So she needed a wing woman to, like, get over her nerves.
Oh, geez. She was a new girl, huh?
I guess. Or she just ain't had enough dark meat.
I guess not.
So her friend, like, is there, and I'm just buying drinks for a friend just to kind of help my buddy out.
Oh, okay.
And I have no idea this place is a brothel, and every, like, couple minutes the girl's like, wanna fuck? I'm like,
it's like,
no, I'm cool. I'll buy you another drink.
just to hang out.
Yeah, just to hang out. Like, and I'm telling our whore sommelier, like, yeah, I'm in the industry. I don't fucking like strip clubs.
Right. It's a whole it's from our perspective, it's a whole different thing.
The caveat is I do love spearmint rhinos, dames, and games.
You do where you do that show, yeah.
Right.
That place is really nice, yeah.
No,
But
it's a lot of fun. No,
But this place is literally like, you go there, you walk in, and literally there's just 20 to 25 girls
yeah.
lined up.
No, it was crazy. And
And I couldn't believe it.
yeah, it's just one of those things like, I don't go to strip clubs unless I'm working a gig at a strip club.
Yes.
So I'm just like, I'm not really into strip clubs. I'll happily pay for the girl's time, tip her out, tip you out, whatever. No big deal. Like, we're having fun. My one buddy really wanted to come here. We'll hang out. Oh, he's going upstairs. I'll just keep paying for your time. And like every couple minutes, like,
Yeah, she just really wanted to fuck you, I guess.
she just kept making the fuck noise motion. I'm like, maybe later. Like,
You're just like, meanwhile, I'm getting more and more drunk.
yeah, it's more and more. I'm like, oh shit, just keep bringing the booze. Keep bringing the booze.
Gotta have your vice somehow.
And my third buddy, the girl that's with him, spoke English, and she's just like, why are you being such a dick? Why don't you just take her upstairs and fuck her?
You're being such a dick. You're like, I'm not being a dick.
Well, in my mind, it's like how prostitution goes down in an American strip club. Like, this is not what you're here to do. This is just bonus money for you.
Yeah, but for them, it's like, that's how they make their money.
Well, no, this is a brothel set up as a strip club, which I found out later, and I felt like a colossal dick about wasting that girl's time. Like, I felt like, in my mind, at the time, she could have just gotten up and found another John.
But apparently it doesn't work like that.
No. As long as I was buying her a drink, she was stuck at the table. So I'm just colossally wasting this girl's time.
Yeah, but it's like, at the same time, you didn't want to sit there by yourself either.
Yeah, but
You're like, I was indifferent.
I had alcohol. I was good.
Yeah.
I had alcohol. I could have watched the floor show.
So you'll know for next time when you come down with me and my boys from East LA that you'll just remember not to buy them so many drinks.
Next time, I'm just not going to bother going in.
That. No, I mean, if you're, I could totally get it. You know, I went with a couple of my buddies too, and they're both civilians and they're both in their 30s, so it's kind of like they look forward to going to Tijuana still. You know,
$80 for a bang is not a horrible deal.
no, it really isn't. It's not a horrible deal, and especially since they like, I've seen what they do. Like they'll give the girl a robe. Like, they'll give a girl like a silk robe that says fucking Hong Kong on the back. They'll take them out. They'll go to the hotel, which is, by the way, next door.
Right.
And they'll go up these stairs, and they'll go up, and the hotel's like a legit hotel. There's a lobby with a receptionist and all that. And, you know, they're like, so how much for the room? It's $20
Yeah. By the hour.
by the hour. And that's like actually that's a real serious moneymaker. I think they probably make more off that than they actually do like off the girls sometimes.
Yeah.
Like $20 an hour, and the guy wants to like maybe go a couple times. You know, they're probably making off him than they are on the girl. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I'd be curious to ask one of the girls, like, what's your cut?
Right.
How much does the club take from this? How much do you? What also blew my mind, which I may have been a little inebriated when I walked in the door, and I should have realized this. They had membership clubs. Like, they had a discount punch card going on.
Yeah, they do. And it's like, what is the application process like for that? Like, you walk in and go, sir, so how many times have you frequented Hong Kong in the last 30 days? Like, is it like an Amex card for strip club?
One, can you imagine, like, your significant other goes through your wallet and finds the fucking membership card to Hong Kong? Like, the fuck is
What
this?
is this? I looked up this place, and this place is a fucking whorehouse. What is going on?
And you have 9 punches in it already. What the fuck?
It's like, no, but you know, if you go down there and like you don't get a table and you like walk around and you check it, like the dildo shows and stuff are good. Like the girls are legit. Like, you know, they're basically fucking each other with dildos on stage with whipped cream. It's amazing.
See, that didn't happen when I was there. I was also there the day after Christmas.
Oh, well, you had to go upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole like second level where there's just more girls, and that's where the whipped cream dildo show is. Yeah, my buddy's like, dude, don't even bother down here, bro. Like, just go upstairs and we'll just fucking like we'll spend $5 for like a couple hours to watch these girls fuck each other. Like,
how many punches does he have?
No, he doesn't. I mean, I could imagine probably more than I do, but he doesn't have a membership card.
Sure, he doesn't.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sure,
I was like, he probably does, but he's like, I love this place or whatever. But Rosarito Beach is a lot actually more fun. The more tourist trap area, that was fun too. Not just going to the strip club / brothel. There's actually a lot more to do despite that.
I've never been.
I was just recently down there for St. Patrick's Day, which was totally.
I know you missed my gig.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. But
No worries.
I actually have a story on. I could technically still be in jail right now.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you that. So we go down there. The Cholos game was on Friday, so we were down there Friday, and then just the next day happened to be St. Patrick's Day. So we go down to Rosarito Beach, and the most popular beach there is since like the 90s is Papas and Beer. So we were down there. We're walking around, and I guess the whole gimmick is like, you know, there's a bunch of beaches or a bunch of bars on the beach. There we go. So like these guys that like they're promoters basically, and they like lead you down.
Are they promoters like the guys on Las Vegas Strip trying to hand out
the cards, handing out the stripper things? Kind of, but they take it like once. They're like aggressive as fuck. They'll come down there and they'll be like, oh, you know, you need to use the bathroom here. Get a 2-for-1 beer while you're at it. Like, like you know, you go down there and it's like, oh, you know, we'll come down. You get a wristband, $15 all day. You know, something like that. Because like I was, you know, as we were talking about earlier, it was St. Patrick's Day in Rosarito Beach, and then just, you know, it's spring break. Everybody's there. They're at this place. And, you know, obviously the only one thing that I want, since we're, you know, on Now We Drink, is Jameson. That's the only thing that I wanted on St. Patrick's Day. And, of course, this place, Papa's and Beer, is the only place that has it. So we literally I go up to the guy. I'm like, okay, all I want to do is just take, like, one shot of Jameson.
You fucked up by not bringing your own into the country.
I know. I really did. And I thought about it before I left. But I was like, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll find some. Nope. That was the only place. So we go across the street. We're like, so how much is it to get into this place? They're like $45. And I'm like, so what do I get with this $45? They're like, well, you get access to the place, and then actually it's like free alcohol, like all you can drink from 7 to 9.
I'm putting that place out of business next year.
Yeah, I literally would. So we get our things around like 6. And we just go, and of course you can drink on the street down in Rosarito Beach. So we grab a 12-pack, we chug those real fast, and of course we're literally sitting right next to the federales because they're trying to block the street so cars can still get through. Even the cops are like giving me like, hey bro, cheers. Like the cops were smoking cigarettes or whatever, you know. He cheers me with my fucking like Tecate that I bought from like down the street for like, you know, $3 for a 12-pack because that's how awesome it is for beer down there, you know what I mean? So we're sitting there, and so we go in, and this place is like packed. It's like it's the douche club of basically of in the entire spring break area. It's like the last day of spring break. We're going in, all that stuff, and we're like, okay, we got our all you can drink. We're gonna chill for like an hour, and then we're gonna go home. We'll go home. You know, we'll drive. We'll make that hour and a half drive to get to the border, and then we'll take the extra like hour or so to get back home. So we're on our way back. Mind you, we're still wearing our bright green St. Patrick's Day shenanigans shirts that everybody had commentated on the next day over my sweatshirt, which I'm not. You know, I wasn't wearing anything underneath the sweatshirt. So we get up to the border, and of course the border guy goes, have you guys been drinking?
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, if I say no, I mean, I'm clearly lying. I have, but I was like, officer, I swear. I swear to you, officer, I've taken enough time to where I knew I was going to make this drive, and I knew I was going to run into you with this on and the thing. He still didn't believe me. They ended up having to take my car, impound it. Like, they ended up searching the whole fucking thing. They took me in. They made me do the whole field sobriety test and all that. And I was just literally, like, sitting there the whole time. I'm like, I'm so glad they're making me wait all this time because I'm so fucked up right now.
Oh, shit.
I'm like,
oh, shit.
But the thing was, like, after about a good, like, because I wasn't the only one. There was about 6 other people that had been...
Who had the same plan?
Who had the same plan, and that we're all wearing the same exact gear. We were lined up like a bunch of St. Patrick's Day hooligans. It looked like we had just been back from like Chicago or something like that, where they pick, you know, they dye the water green or whatever. So we're all sitting there, and they get up and they get me. They do the field sobriety. I'm like, listen, officer, all I want to do is just take a breathalyzer and get out of here. That's all I want to do. Because it'd been like 2 or 3 hours at this point, and I'm like, if I was that fucked up, I'm probably good by now. So he's like, okay, if you do this, the thing. If not, obviously we're going to take you to jail right now. So he does it. I blow a .065. Yeah. So I'm like under the limit, and I just go, and I'm like literally sitting in there in my shirt, and I just go, so, can I go now? And they're trying to give me this good guy speech, like, oh, maybe you should wait an hour or so before we actually let you go or whatever. I'm like, unless you want me to wait the hour in my car in your parking lot and smoke weed. Since I'm technically in California now.
Did you bring weed across the border?
Oh, of course. I do every single time.
Brad, don't admit to crimes on the internet.
I did, but I don't have it with me or anything. They can't prove it.
Right, it just magically flew across the border.
It's plus we don't have any left. Jesus Christ. No, we didn't. By the time we came back, we didn't have any left. We were done.
But what would you do if you got caught by the fucking federales coming in?
I don't know, man. I probably would have just ate it. If I had some on me and that happened and the whole deal, I probably just would have ate it. Yeah, honestly.
See, the one time I parked my car in San Diego and walked.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. No, it was just easy. It's just because my buddy speaks Spanish, so it was easier to get around and people not mess with my car and stuff like that. Because it is still a border town, and people do try to mess with you if they think that you don't know your way around and stuff. But my buddy speaks Spanish, so it's if anybody they try to fuck with me and they're like. It's he speaks Spanish, bro. It's the thing. So it was just really funny, coming back, and we're of course they would pull me over for wearing St. Patrick's gear and everything, and pull me in for that. Of course they would.
And you probably smelled like a still.
I might have. It definitely didn't look good by all accounts and purposes, for sure. But it was a time I'll never forget. That's for sure. Mexico. St. Patrick's Day. It's not something that people do too often. No,
that's not the St. Patrick's Day destination.
It's not really. No, it really isn't. But one thing I do have to say about Mexico, though, is I got recognized.
Really?
While I was there. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I'm sitting. We were basically pre-gaming for a good couple hours because we found out about the whole 7 to 9 all you can drink thing around 4 p.m. So, we'd been drinking those 12-packs for a good minute. And literally, I had three Mexican dudes come up, and they were like, dude, is this you? And they pull up my Brazzers picture. They're and I'm like, yeah, that is. Holy shit. Because I'm in St. Patrick's gear, my hair's not even done or anything. I'm just fucked up from the night before. I'm drinking a beer on the side of the road, and these guys go up and they're like, dude, is this you? I saw your scene with Nina L. That was awesome. We just had this huge expo.
Was it Mexican dudes or white dudes?
No, they were Mexican dudes.
Oh, nice.
They were straight up we're we live around here with Ding, and we were we weren't sure if it was you or not, and we just wanted to come up and say what up, dude. They tagged me on Instagram too.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Took a picture with me, tagged me on Instagram, and apparently they got 20 fucking comments about it. Dude, I'm saying, it's so sexualized down in there. I was I got recognized in Mexico, and I haven't even been in that long. I've only been in 4 years. So it's just for that and the crazy, and it's to be oh, that scene that you did with this girl, that was so awesome. I'm really? Out of all places in the entire fucking place, St. Patrick's Day, at a tourist beach, at this place, and then these guys come up and of course these guys all have girlfriends. All 3 of the guys all have girlfriends.
It would have been hilarious if it would be an honor if you'd fuck my girlfriend.
I know, that would have been. That's what I was I was literally of course I'm thinking of that in the back of my mind, but I was these girls. Nah.
Hey, prove your male talent. Just get it up. Do it.
But no,
that's the job, Brad Knight.
It's that's the job, but only if the girl's tested, of course. But so but I was just the girls go up and it's they're looking at the guys yeah, and the guys are yeah, we watch porn, because the girls you find out your guys watching porn, it's probably a weird thing. It's not only did they find out that they are, but they get to meet the guy that they're watching right there.
That's a hot experience. Like,
It was a little weird.
I have totally touched myself to your dick.
Yeah, especially like when they're not saying that to you in English at all. And like
Oh, was-
my buddy's translating for
translating?
me the entire time. It's just like, I'm like, what did he say, bro? It's just,
I've been funny if they're not fans at all. They're just kind of like, oh, gringo.
oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. But no, it was a really good experience to like actually have somebody come up and recognize me, and it was like, oh,
Appreciate all your hard work.
I mean, it's actually nice. It's nice to actually be recognized for it for once. It's the first time I've been recognized, like out in public like that. So
No, that's pretty rad. Mm-hmm. Some recognition for the hard work, for all the lengths of pipe you've been laying.
well, somebody's got to do it.
Those girls aren't going to fuck themselves.
I know they're not.
I mean,
they
they
could,
are.
but sometimes they get bored.
Sometimes the audience just wants to see a flesh missile.
Absolutely they do. And that's what we were just talking about last AVN. It's like you get nominated for stuff and you don't know whether you're going to win or not, and then you win for the most crazy stuff. Like you going up on stage for best comedy. I mean, that was definitely one of the highlights of that night.
I am still waiting to see if that makes it to Showtime and how much of a shit show it's going to be. Like, oh my God, I can't believe how much an ass of myself I made.
No, you were all right, bro. You were all right.
Okay, well, in retrospect, I felt like I made a giant ass of myself.
I mean, it was just like, if anything, like those other people, I mean, you're in the movie, you should all go up.
Right. Well, and that's how I ended up there.
It's like, you're like, okay, I waited. Nobody went up. So I just decided to go up because I was in the thing. So,
I mean, I didn't wait long.
well, you didn't wait long, but I was like, you waited, and then nobody else was really making their way up besides Joanna. And then
From the far fucking back.
yeah, and I'm like, well, it's also like, okay, who made the seating chart? Because like, if she was winning that award, like who puts her all the way in the back?
Right?
Yeah, piss poor planning on that one.
100%. I also stole my seat, so I shouldn't have been so close.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure half of us did that night anyway. The seating was totally messed up because it was like we were talking about, all the cam people took up like 3/4 of the auditorium.
They did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did.
They absolutely did.
And the section I was assigned to technically didn't have any unassigned seats left when I got to it.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm like, oh, I can't find any fucking seats. Fuck. And Ike Diesel, looking out like a homie, he's like, yo, this girl's not coming. I know she's not. Take her seat.
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of those. But, at least it worked out. It was
great. It was fucking great. I can say that, I went on stage dressed like a fucking rabbi.
it was pretty awesome. And walking that red carpet with you as the rabbi was
Oh, that was a ton of fun.
Was
ton
hilarious.
of fun.
Hilarious part with that, and then the waitress serving us in the line.
You bastards didn't give me a fucking drink.
you got to strike while the iron was hot on that opportunity, bro. That was literally like a 5-second window.
I know, but I'm saying right there, some fan engaged me, and I turned and you were like ordering a drink. Me.
I was like, but I had to chug it like halfway towards the end because they couldn't let me bring the glassware like on the last of the red carpet part. So like I had to end up like, I think I had to give it to you to help me drink.
I did.
It. Yeah. I was like they wouldn't let me. I had like a drink like this in my hand, and they're like, no, you can't bring that up on the red carpet like this. I'm like, what? But I got it in line.
I would have tried to talk my way in and be like, what?
I know. But they were not having it. So I'm like, I didn't want to wait all that time and then get all that way and then be like, nah.
No, you can't come in.
Yeah, that was a whole clusterfuck just to try to even get on that thing too.
Oh, I know.
Like I ended up waiting probably a total of about like 2 hours, I think it was.
It just seemed no rhyme or reason how they're letting people in.
No, it was definitely a disconnect between AVN and the actual Hard Rock itself. So, well, hopefully next year it'll be better.
I won't be on the carpet next year.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, we'll see if I get nominated for something else, but I doubt it.
It's gonna be a long year, my friend.
I know, we're barely into it.
I know. I mean, it's flying by pretty fast though. I mean, it's almost April. It's April.
It is April 1st.
Yeah, I was like, it's literally April 1st. Can't believe it.
I know. AVN was a couple months ago already.
I know. It's like, all that stuff and the other thing. It's like, oh yeah, I guess it was a couple months ago. It just shows it's like, wow, AVN. A couple months later, we're like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
That was the thing. In a couple of years, they'll be like, oh yeah, remember that thing we did a couple of years back?
You'll be like, no.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'll be like, was I drunk in Vegas? Oh yeah, that's the thing I do.
That's a thing that happens pretty often. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, God, this Woodford's really I'm getting a nice little buzz going on right now.
Excellent.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So what the fuck else you been doing? You went to Mexico. You fucking
Right. I went to Mexico. I've been doing a lot of traveling, but now I'm kind of just going to keep it more low key.
Where else have you been going?
I've been going kind of more NorCal. Been up to San Francisco a little bit more, and I've been out to Vegas a little bit more.
I was doing some work for Kink, or
no? Just my folks live up
cool.
in San Fran, so I go and visit them sometimes. I actually lived for 3 years up there before porn, so I know the city pretty well. Also. Just been doing a lot of traveling, like Vegas and Arizona has actually been a kind of good spot. Jay and Jody West, they live out in Scottsdale. I don't know if you know.
I don't.
I was like, Jody, you've probably heard of Jody West.
Yeah.
Her husband Jay have a nice place out there in Arizona, and they do a good business for themselves. They're really good people. So
nice.
Yeah, I've been saw them. What was it? Around like Christmas time. So that was the last little bit of traveling I did, and then this Mexico thing was really recent. It was St. Patrick's Day, so yeah, not really going to be doing much more. Not going to really be going to any of the Exoticas this year. We were talking about that too.
Yeah. I sometimes miss those conventions, and sometimes I don't.
Right. It's like maybe if I go, half the time next time, and maybe it'll be better. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, why go at all?
Some of the after parties used to be a lot of fun. In my, when I was roadieing for a lot of girls, back in my day, the club booth, which I believe might be the Bad Dragon booth now, like the club spotlight.
Yeah,
the big booth where a lot of the mainstays sign. Used to be empty in the middle.
Right.
There used to be a couch back there.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, I kind of used to turn it into a bar back there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Officially, you couldn't drink on the floor unless you're buying from the convention center.
Right.
But I'm a roadie. No one's gonna check my bags for booze.
Nope, they sure aren't.
Fucking just bottles.
And then you just had that little room basically to yourself, and then the girls just go back there when they needed a break.
Yep. We'd do some drinking. I'd drag friends back there, do some drinking.
Yeah, that's definitely something AVN seriously needs now. Like in between like the agency booths or something, like just set up a couple couches right there and just like fuck.
Yeah. Well, not fuck.
Well, you know what I mean. Like just get drinking or whatever.
To clarify for the audience, because we very well may mean.
Yeah, I mean, that may have happened. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, like you see it at every other convention still. Like they have like little shit. Like for half these conventions, they have little offices set up if you want to do business meetings. Like it's
AVN doesn't have that anymore. I feel like they're a business to business.
But they do them in like hotel rooms and stuff. They don't do them like off the side of the actual convention itself. You know what I mean?
Maybe that was back in...
Oh, you know what? Like the ballrooms and stuff like that, they still use those. Yeah. So I guess it's to some degree. But I'm talking about like on the floor itself.
Right,
like you could just go off to the side and literally have like a business meeting in like this cubicle thing that they set up. Like when the last time I went to CES, they had like at least 10 of those.
That's a much bigger convention though.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge convention. I actually used to frequent that convention quite often. About 4 or 5 years ago. My dad still is invested in that quite a bit because he owns his own sound company.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he knows more about speakers than I could possibly know for any reason other than being a huge speaker nerd. But he knows enough about it to keep going. He's been going for about 10 years, and that thing, it's like I think it's about almost as crazy as Comic-Con. Like the amount of people that go and how big it is and how many big players actually are involved in it and all that.
Well, AVN used to be at the same time, right?
Yes. I the last year that I went to CES was the last year that they did that together. I think it was like 2010.
Nah.
Because it was maybe it was like one of the last years because it was...
2011 was last year at the Sands.
Okay. Yeah. So it was the year before that when it was just like, yeah, it was literally like you had opposite ends of the spectrums. Like guys that are like clearly they got their badges on still, getting this girl like and bringing them back to their hotel room. Like, okay, you can clearly tell what's going on here. And you're just like, wow. You would never see that combo like in real life ever.
Oh, I know. It's great.
Only in Vegas.
That was my first AVN that year.
Really?
Yeah.
2011?
2010.
2010?
Yeah, 2010 was my first AVN.
God, there were a lot of girls at that convention too.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, like Jenna Hayes. That's like one of the... Before I got in the business, that was like when Jenna Hayes was still in, when Charlie Chase was still in, like when Alexis Texas was still really doing really well.
Yeah, Texas was doing great.
It was a total...
Sasha Grey was signing.
Sasha Grey was signing. Jesse Jane was doing really great because they were advertising Pirates like a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, they were like the main stars and had the biggest lines and stuff. It was just so much different than it is now.
It was a trade show.
But it was a lot smaller. Like
no way.
Well, I mean, like the... what do you call it? Like, I guess it maybe because it was like one of the last days or whatever, but like... I don't know. It just
the floor was huge.
Okay, I guess maybe it was just the way they. Set
but it was just one big floor,
right? Instead of 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it. It was just one big floor.
But yeah, some of the major companies had giant fucking booths.
Oh yeah, it was literally just like Lansky's booth, but times 10.
Yeah, with a lot less awards, but
yeah. But that was the whole thing. The whole thing was about the trade show and the convention. It wasn't even about the award show back then, really.
Yeah, the award show was icing on the cake. It was a business-to-business show at that point.
Yeah, it was.
Hell, in those days, and back in my day, there were industry-only days first. Like, the first day of the show was industry-only. And then the other 3 days, there were industry-only hours. Fans weren't even allowed on the floor for full show hours.
Wow. That would actually help a lot now. Like, for companies if they're trying to, like, hire new girls and stuff. But
the money's not there anymore. You got to pander to the fans a bit.
Yeah. And I mean, they got to figure out what the fuck to do because after this last year, I mean, it was just so ridiculously packed. Like, you couldn't even walk, halfway through the convention without, like, it taking 15, 20 minutes to get to one side of it. So
I was on the show floor for about 20 minutes the whole weekend.
Yeah, same with me. That's usually the case as well. And it's usually because I'm, like, dropping something off that a girl left or something like that.
I hid in media the whole fucking time.
Oh, yeah. You're at the media booth, so.
I'm like, I'm going to be up in media drinking where I can freely bring my own alcohol.
That was actually a pretty nice spot you guys had.
That's been my spot 2 years running.
All right. Well, I'll definitely see you again there next year for sure.
Yeah. If I go next year.
If you go next year, right.
It's still a great debate. I wasn't going to go this year if I wasn't nominated.
Right. It was kind of the same. It was almost the same deal with me. I was thinking about it for like the longest time, and then the nominations came out in October, and then we were just all like, oh my God, we need to go now.
Right? Like, I'm fucking AVN nominated. I have to go.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's always an honor to be nominated, though. I mean, it's like, how often is that going to happen again?
Who knows if I will ever be nominated again. My dick doesn't come out on film, so there's only so many non-sex roles.
There's only so many non-sex roles. But, hey, at least, I mean, good friends with people that can give you plenty of those non-sex roles. So
Yeah, but there's only a handful of, we need Matt looking like a scumbag. Like, I have a fairly distinct look. I'm like, I'm a rabbi or a scumbag. Not much in between.
What are we gonna choose this time?
Though, I saw an article. YouTube defunded all these gun pages, right? All these gun videos.
The NRA or whatever it is.
Just any like pro-gun videos whatsoever. YouTube either remove them or demonetize them.
Okay.
So they're moving them to Pornhub. A lot of these gun companies are like moving them to Pornhub.
Basically fetishizing gun videos.
Yeah. Well, it's just they can freely post them there.
Yeah, I was like, they'll let you.
So I don't know if you're aware, years ago at this point, I played a redneck named Jesco for a Naked in Public scene for Wood Rocket.
No, I did not know this.
And I taught Veruca James how to shoot on camera. So I'm pitching to Wood Rocket, like, you need me to bring that character back since all the gun stuff's moving to Pornhub anyways.
Wow, you said it back then? Jeez.
Well, it's my pitch now since I already have the character.
I mean, you might as well. They're probably being like, yeah, why the hell not?
Leroy hasn't gotten back to me on that.
I'm sure he hasn't. I'm pretty sure since the whole Confederate flag incident stuff. I'm sure that doesn't really fly anymore. It's kind of all associated in the same shit. It's like,
I actually was wearing a Confederate flag belt buckle in that scene.
yeah. So there's a lot of things that could hinder you bringing that kind of character back.
Fuck it, why not?
It'd be really funny.
It would be.
Yeah.
When we get off air, I'll play the scene for you. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It sounds amazing, but that totally makes sense why they bring it to Pornhub, because it's basically just like you just basically fetishize gun porn.
Yeah.
Like somebody's going to be making. I should literally just make video. I should buy a shotgun and just assemble it and disassemble it for like 3 minutes.
Oh, what you got to do is just have a girl shoot the gun naked, then bang her.
Yeah, basically. I've done a shoot like that before, where we were on a gun range with actual cops, and then I banged in the back of the gun range afterwards.
There we go. There's Brad Knight's new thing for 2018.
That was like 2015 when I did that.
But you can make a whole series of it now.
I know, I actually could. And I would actually probably do a lot better. It was pretty ridiculous, though, because we're at this gun range, right? And, probably every gun range has to be in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And so it's...
Indoor or outdoor range?
It was outdoor.
Okay.
So we're outdoor at this, like, gun range, and we're literally next to, I think it was, like, the Pasadena Police Department or something like that. And they were doing, like, some training exercises or something. Because, like, there were literally... all the guys that were in charge of this place were ex-cops, ex-military, ex-whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know how the fuck this guy got this venue with this girl, but I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go with it, let's do it. But the whole thing beforehand was that they literally did what you just said. Make the girl shoot the gun naked, and then fuck her afterwards. So... obviously these guys are ex-cops, so they're trying to like go through the safety class and like everything. And we're like, we did a couple like practice shooting things and stuff like that. Literally, let's like, and then at some point it goes, okay, girls, now's the time we're gonna start cameras rolling. So they get naked, and the guys are like, so what we're gonna do now is like they're trying to be instructors, but it clearly is not working, because now literally boobs and boots. That was it. That was literally like, that's what I wanted to call the series. I'm like, boobs and boots. That's what you
there you go. Boom, right there.
That's what you should have called it. But
trademark Brad Knight. Do not steal that shit, internet.
No, anybody, do not steal that. Boobs and boots.
Hold on. Actually, I want to see if boobsandboots.com is
I know, right? See if that's an actual thing. Like boats and hoes, but boobs and boots. Boobs and boots.
It's available.
It's available, people. That's amazing. I'm probably going to steal that.
Oh, do it. You got some time before this comes out. So
I know.
You can register that domain.
But it was really awesome, because we got this thing, and then literally it's like the targets, and then there was this sand wall thing behind it.
Yeah, the backstop.
Yeah, and then there was this like canopy thing behind that, and there was like this table and all that stuff, and that's where we actually ended up doing the scene, like in the middle of the day, in the back of this gun range, where like literally the Pasadena Police Department is literally doing their training exercises like 30 feet away.
Were there gunshots going off in the background while you banged?
Absolutely, yes. That was actually the most horrifying part, because like you could hear the bullets at one point going through the sandbar right next to the canopy. So we thought like a bullet was going to like get through and hit one of us. So we were like, I'm literally like in the middle of the fucking this girl, and all of a sudden I hear just like almost like by my head, and I'm gonna go, okay, I'm pretty sure that if he keeps shooting in that same direction, I'm going to get hit by a fucking bullet. So like, I'm like, guys, could you not shoot our way while we're trying to do this back here? Meanwhile, I'm like naked.
Fear boner.
It was literally just like panic boner. At that point, I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? We're getting shot at, and I have to fuck this girl at the same time. But it's so awesome.
It's like, oh my god, if they keep shooting, I'm gonna pop really quick.
It was not. It was like that. Also mixed with, I hope I don't die. Yeah.
Nothing makes you come harder.
I guess. Yeah. I definitely came a lot quicker to try to get the fuck out of there, so I wouldn't get shot. Definitely helped the process. That's for sure.
Just like, oh god, I gotta fucking finish.
I know.
quickly.
So I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like this is crazy. So So we get out of there, and I'm like literally like pulling up my pants and getting everything on as we're going out of the thing, and the people, I guess there was just like regular people shooting there and stuff, and they look at me like, they give me that look like, and I just go, nice. Like, yep, we were just fucking back there. The girl wasn't exactly quiet,
Right.
so like everybody could hear what the fuck was going on.
You think you could hear her over the gunshots?
I think in between gunshots, you could definitely
It was
hear.
like bang, bang, ah, bang, bang.
Yeah. It was like, psh, 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 psh. It's just.
Are they killing someone
It's
back
like,
there?
wait, is that a instructional video or what's happening here? Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, that was a crazy time though.
Boobs and boots. Hey, you could start banging in Kevlar.
That would be exciting and really tough at the same time.
It'd be really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it would.
Have you ever worn Kevlar?
Yeah, I have actually. I'm ex-military.
Oh, okay.
So I've had a lot of training and stuff. Like just wearing all the full pads and stuff, it definitely gives you like an extra 50 pounds.
Well, and it just doesn't fucking breathe is the problem.
No, it doesn't do that either. Especially since we were filming, of course, like in the middle of the summer, because that's the only time you can film outside. You know, that's how the industry works. We only film outside when it's like 100 degrees minimum outside.
And the sun's coming right down on you.
Mm-hmm. Of course, and I'm pasty white, so they have to put me in direct sunlight.
They just want you to get a little cancer. It's okay.
Oh, it's fine. You know, they just want me to be look like a lobster for the next like 5 days. That's what they want.
Hey, that's not their problem. That's someone else's problem.
Yeah, it's someone else's problem. Yeah, it was just. But yeah, being there, that was a crazy. That was probably one of the craziest scenes I've ever done.
So,
actually.
I didn't know you were in the military. What branch did you serve in?
I was in the Army. I was in ROTC in college, and then I graduated as an officer, and then I got discharged for weed. Actually, they
So dishonorable?
yeah, they don't take kindly to the marijuanas.
What happened to you eating it when they were coming?
I know. I was like, but still, I mean, like this was, you know, I was still in. You know, it was like I had just graduated. We were having a party. You know, they were doing the thing. And then, like, I think it was like 15, 20 days in, and they were like, drug test.
Oh,
And it was literally like the most minuscule, like, amount that I could have had or whatever. But it was still just like, it's a zero tolerance policy. Like, they just don't. And then that was it. That was literally it. I got everything and I just left. It's not really a good memory, but you know, it's just like something that I learned from, and it gave me a lot of good experiences while I was in college, and it gave me a lot of experiences for what people are going through in the military and things like that. So I have a lot of respect for those people still, despite, you know, what the actual organization did to me. And you know, those guys have been through so much, and I still have a lot of veteran friends to this day. So I like to. And I volunteer for my buddy's thing. He does veteran hiker. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't. What is it?
He basically has a group of veterans that he takes to different spots all around here in LA, and they all hike these different trails and stuff to help with their PTSD.
Nice.
So, you know, it's a really great escape, plus obviously physical exercise. That's kind of like what the Army was meant off of anyway. So it's like it's a militaristic way to help you get through your PTSD.
Nice.
It's a really nice organization. I really like helping them out. My buddy David, who's in charge, he's a really good dude. And he's gotten, you know, he's only been doing it maybe a couple of years now, but you know, it's really good way to help out veterans and help with their PTSD, because they go through a lot more than we do.
Definitely. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, it's just great that that they're actually going out and doing stuff besides, you know, like Wounded Warrior Project or something. That's like, this is something that it's like you're actively involved in the community.
And the soldiers definitely have wounds that you may not necessarily be able to see.
Yeah, there was a couple guys that, you know, only had one leg, one arm, and you know, they're hiking up this 2-mile uphill trail, you know, and it's remarkable to see. It's like, you know, when you feel like giving up, there's these guys that can go out and do that, you know. Like, I've seen a guy with no legs at my gym working out. So it's like, okay, if he can do that, then I can get my ass up and go to the gym too.
His pull-ups must be much easier than yours.
Well, yeah, less body weight. But it's just like, it's nice especially around here in LA where everything is so like hectic and stuff like that. It's nice to see somebody who has a setup like that. It's really nice.
That's really rad.
Yeah,
You should do your part. Take them down to Hong Kong,
I'm sure they've all been.
but not as a group.
Not as a group. No, that'd be a crazy ass group though. About like 15, 20 vets just going down and drinking all their alcohol. Yeah. Oh, not to mention every time that you go into Hong Kong too, they give you a beer.
They didn't give me a beer. What the fuck?
Man, maybe they ran out because like literally the cover charge, and then they literally handed me a Heineken. It was pretty awesome.
I had a different experience. Like they took me right to a booth, and then, they gave me lots of alcohol.
I was gonna say probably because you already had a booth with alcohol that came with it. This was just like the cover charge, and they gave you a beer with it.
Yeah,
I didn't have to drink all night though because of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Yeah, they have actually hooked it up pretty good over there.
Yeah. Well, they want to get you drunk so you fuck hookers.
Yeah, I guess that's the idea. That's not my bag though.
Nah, not so much. Not that I have anything. I have no moral qualms with it. Zero.
No, it's just we're in an industry where, the girls that are in this industry, they're the most beautiful girls in the world.
There's that. There's definitely that. It's not even that for me, though. I don't like the transactional nature of it.
Yeah. Just like the paying for it part.
I have no moral qualms with paying for it part. It's just I want to feel wanted. Like, oh, you're only doing this because I'm handing you money.
Right. Okay.
Not into it. Like, I'm not turned on by that.
Right. It's not like it's not like that that just male whatever misogynistic bullshit that
my ego is like, no, dude. No, bro, nah.
Be like, dude, you're cool, bro. You can go back home and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, you want to feel wanted, you want to, you want to be able to like, actually have some sort of intimacy, I guess is the idea.
Intimacy is optional, but it's more of a, oh no, this is where she wants to be.
Okay, yeah. And I guess it's, it just depends on the girl you get, but there's got to be at least a couple of them that want to be there, right?
Well,
you would hope.
You hope. Hell, if the right girl was a proper salesperson, I might be like, okay, here, take my money.
Yeah, right.
But I have not found the proper, saleswoman.
Right. Yet.
I guess
he's like, or ever. No, it's like, it's probably not going to happen.
It hasn't happened. Yeah, it hasn't happened. It didn't happen in Amsterdam. Like,
plus, it's that whole strip club aspect too. It's like you're just like, I would never normally come here anyway. So,
right.
Yeah, it's just that whole like, okay, so what's so special about this?
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it.
That's some place I do want to go back to, though. I have been to Amsterdam once, but I haven't been back in many, many years. And Europe would actually be an awesome place to go.
We're trying to get a crew together to do Oktoberfest at some point.
That would be awesome.
It was so much fun last year.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I've heard that Munich is quite a town.
Oh, I had so much fucking fun.
Yeah, being at the I've been to Munich, but not during Oktoberfest. I went to the Hofbrauhaus.
Nice,
but not during Oktoberfest though. And it's still just as crazy. Don't get me wrong. And it's funny because of how they treated us there as Americans and as not. I was like 15 at the time when I went. I could still drink, but it was like,
yay, Germany! If you can see over the bar, you can drink.
That was pretty much it. And even their soda had alcohol in it.
Really?
Yeah, because I swear, I got a Coke, but it must have had beer in it because it tasted like a beer, and I was getting drunk. I ordered a Coke, but it was it had head, but it tasted like Coke. But it also kind of tasted like beer, too. And I'm like, wait, am I getting drunk off of just Coca-Cola right now? Like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm, trying to ask the guy. And, of course, he can't understand me because he's speaking German and stuff. And I'm like, is there alcohol in this? Because I'm fucked up.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
I know. Sprechen Sie English? And then schnapps were insanely popular over there, too. Schnapps or something else.
Schnapps.
That's they give you like a flight over there every time you order schnapps. They give you like, they don't just give you one. They give you like 3 or 4 shots every time you get one over there.
I do like Germany.
It's great though, because like they do like they're like, oh, we'll give you these 2 ones that'll seriously fuck you up, but then we'll give you these other 2 ones that are just for show. We'll throw like a chocolate or a passion fruit one in there just to fuck with you. Ha ha ha. Like,
I don't know. Passion fruit schnapps sounds like it would fuck your stomach up after like heavy drinking. Just like
it's basically just as like a filler though, because once you have like a chocolate milk schnapps, then it's kind of just like a cutter, you know what I mean? Because like that would be really heavy, you know what I mean? Like schnapps just are, I don't know, they get you fucked up.
some of them are pretty heavy fucking proof.
They are, yeah. They really messed up, man. I was like, I don't know how they do it over there, man.
Practice.
Yeah, they practice at a very early age. Yes, they do.
Oh my god, yeah, no, we got to get a group back. We got to get like a full on porno group to go to Oktoberfest.
That would be super, because then we could just all like split a fucking Airbnb and then just go do Oktoberfest for like 3 or 4 days.
3 days tops.
3 days tops.
Oh my god,
that's all you can handle.
I was there. I only did 1 day last year. Mm-hmm. We popped into Munich. We chilled out by the hotel because we got in late. We went down to Oktoberfest. I got my Lederhosen. Then made it to Oktoberfest. We hit the fairgrounds probably about 1 p.m. Mm-hmm. By 10 p.m. we were done.
Oh, yeah. I guess because the beer is stronger, too.
Well, it's not even that. It's just a lot of fucking liquid.
Is it?
Well, it's a liter of beer.
Oh, they give you liters, yeah.
Yeah, so every time you order a beer.
The amount plus the actual quality of the beer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll fuck you up.
I wasn't that drunk. I just was needing to pee every like fucking 5 minutes.
No, I literally drank some like German beer. What was it? A couple nights ago. I had like maybe 2 or 3 of them. I was hungover as fuck the next day. It's just like the quality of the beer or something. I don't know what it is. It's just like we Americans can't handle it or something.
The food was also fucking spectacular.
That it is. Bratwurst and just...
Oh, bratwurst. The best pretzel I've ever eaten in my life.
And it's the size of your head.
And it wasn't even hot. Like
Wasn't even hot?
Wasn't even hot.
Nah. Doesn't have to be.
No.
When you're fucked up.
Oh, no. That was actually one of the first meals we had there. We had just gotten in the tent. We got our first round of beers. We ordered sausages. The pretzel guy came by like pretzel. It was... I don't know how they did it, but it wasn't even hot. It was crusty on the outside and so chewy in this. Oh,
that's practice too. They've been doing that for ever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't. It's like, how do they do it? It's like because they've been doing it for ever and ever and ever and ever.
It was fucking amazing. Just every meal we had there was so great, and Oktoberfest is just a giant fucking carnival.
Basically, yeah, tents and all.
And they do something, I've talked about this on air too, that I absolutely love. The traditional Bavarian woman's outfit, I don't know what it's called. You have a little sash, and if you tie it to the left, you're single. If you tie it in the center, you're in a relationship. You tie it to the right, you're married.
Oh, okay.
So when you're scoping girls, you're just like single.
It's easy. Oh, okay.
Except that really young girls are wearing it, like inappropriately young girls, like, oh, you're tied to the left. No.
You're like, yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you should be tied to the left, but it's like, you shouldn't be wearing that at all, though.
Right. Like, I'm scoping for the right. Stop.
And it's like, but what is the age of consent in Germany? That's the thing, too, right?
Yeah, I'm not so concerned about that as much as I'm concerned with
about the girls that are wearing that for trying to be like, I'm trying to do the thing, and then no.
I don't want a fucking child. Ugh.
No, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like your parents let you do that?
Your parents just like, I'm single, bitch.
Yeah, it's like no, you get no sash, you get nothing.
Right, no sash.
Yeah, like that's what they should do.
Why are you dressed like a busty Bavarian wench? You are a little girl. Stop.
Right. Yeah. God, it's just this whole. It's here too. It's not like it's just over there.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, I saw this. No, I think it was on TV, so it must have not have been real.
This is hilarious though, that like we're people in the industry and we're complaining about over-sexualization.
Oh yeah, I know. And it's
we're
like,
just fucking hypocrites right now.
Well, it's just the thing. It's like when it starts hitting like 13 and 14-year-olds, then it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what was it? The thing recently where Pornhub came out. It's like the average porn watcher or something is like, or the average beginning porn watcher is like 11 now.
Hey, you might want to do something about that, guys.
Yeah. You know, that whole access to the internet. But then again, I look at every new parent that I know, all their kids have iPhones and iPads.
Lock that shit down.
I know, but it's like, you know, when we were kids, we just would figure out our fucking parents' passwords and shit. I can't imagine what it's like on the iPad too, you know? It's probably the same deal. It's like, my parents are...
I was such a rotten kid, like, and I'm showing my age here. Before high-speed internet was really prevalent, you know, you used to have to get your porn through pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
My father...
HBO.
Well, no, I'm talking like actual like penetration porn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Skinamax is Skinamax, but...
Right, but then there was actually like Penthouse pay-per-view, yeah.
Penthouse and Vivid pay-per-view.
Right.
And my father locked it down where you had to do a passcode.
Okay.
Well, my ass is smart enough to call into the cable company and be like, hello. I need to order this. And like, oh, well, sir, we need your social security number. I'm like, no problem. I just told them my dad's social. Boom, popped right up. And taped it to VHS so I could watch it again later.
Ah, you were smart. You taped it for later. Good one.
Yeah, no, I used to have like VHSs with multiple full-length movies on it that I had taped off pay-per-view. Wow, I'm admitting to porno piracy well before I was in the industry.
Basically, yeah. You were like the first version of a pirate there, right there. Yeah, that's what it was. But it's
I didn't sell it.
But it's like that required so much work probably to do that.
I know, and do you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to actually physically fast forward to a part of a scene you want to watch?
Well, it's because you couldn't see what you were fast forwarding to. It would probably just go blank.
Well, no, you don't stop it. You just on-screen fast forward. So
yeah, it would just like
static bar at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not like you can stop and like put it in slow motion and figure out what exact second you want to go to. It's like, oh, hope I make it.
And it's crazy to think that like some of the girls that I watched back in the day are still performing to this day.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy fact too.
It's like, wow, I actually know you, and I remember in high school being like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy going into when I first started working for Reality Kings, and Gianna Michaels was the person that like hired all the talent. I just go, wow, Gianna Michaels. Like, I watched so much of your porn when I was like first watching.
Spilled a lot of seed to her back in the day.
I mean, who didn't? I was like, honestly, who didn't? I mean, and still, I mean, she's going, you know, she goes around and dances and stuff, I think, still or something. So
yeah.
She's doing really well for herself.
Well, and it's also crazy to like, at the time, you know, these were fucking women, and
yeah,
I was 17, 18, and it's like, oh my God, and I know some of these women now, and it's like, you're not that much older than me. Like, you're a year or two older than me. You were 18, 19 when I was watching your scenes at 18.
Right.
Mind blown.
Oh, yeah. That, and then when the girl it's just mind blown when either a girl or a guy finds out how old you are in the industry. Like, you know, I'm 29. So when girls find that out about me, they're like, what? Like, you look like you're fucking 20, 21, 22. And I'm like, yeah, that's the idea.
Right.
Like, it's like, I don't want to look fucking 29. Like, I'd look like a fucking, you know, I don't know. I probably wouldn't look that good.
Ouch, man. I'm right fucking here.
Well, I'm talking about me, not you. I'm saying I would look like shit. I would look like shit. I was like,
don't worry, I looked like shit at 29 too.
I was going to say, if I still look like this at like 30, I'll be impressed. I'll be impressed. But yeah, I've been, you know, just ultimately, I'm just trying to just keep shooting. You know, that's the goal. Whether it be for myself or for somebody else. I'm glad for the people that are still, you know, in the business directing, whatever. The people that I regularly shoot for are honestly some of the best people that I know, you know, like the Mike Adamses and the thing. It's like all these people, yeah, they get shit for it, but it's like, okay, they've been in the industry how long? And you've been in the industry how long? There's a reason they're still there. And it's because they act like that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
The longer you're in, yes, the less you have to give a shit. The less you have to start giving a shit.
Because you have proof that what you're doing is working.
Right.
There's monetary proof that's like, hey, this works.
Right.
What I'm doing works. I have an eye for talent.
Right. Other people may say different, but that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I do my best, and that's all I can really say. You know what I mean? It's just like I just click with others. I click with some better than others. That's
So is the plan to eventually start moving into doing feature work for yourself?
That'd be the idea. So far, it's just kind of like, these days, it takes so much longer to get your name out there, especially as a male. For a girl, she can do it she can be in and gone in less than a year.
I know.
But she can be the most popular girl and make so much money that it only takes a year for her to. For guys, it's like, I don't know. Unless you have I've noticed what a lot of guys have is they're married or have a girl with them, and that draws more attention.
Well, what you need to do is find the right girl and just start a partnership with her.
I know. I guess that's the idea, but it's like, yeah, it's a lot easier when you have that, but it's like it makes me feel that much better about myself that I'm successful on my own too.
But in the meantime, if you want to have an arranged marriage with Brad Knight,
I know. I was like, if any girls are looking to, get in a partnership and
further both of your careers,
further a career, I would not mind that at all. So it's but
preferably if you know how to edit.
I know how to edit, luckily. So I picked up that skill.
So Brad knows how to edit. Mm-hmm. Ladies, he's available.
That's all I'm saying. But no, I just it's just the fact of I've learned over these past couple of years. It's just being here. The percentage of just being here is very minimal, and then now seeing new guys and what they make, I'm even more thankful to be here because I generally make almost twice as much.
Well, you're a proven commodity. That's why.
Well, it's also the timing. Like, there was a lot, even 4 or 5 years ago, there was still more money than there was now. And it's just, you see it on what they pay people now. Like, even the girls included, they're not making nearly as much as they should.
Now, do you think that's because
oversaturation,
girls just willing to take a cut and just driving the market down for everyone?
Absolutely. It's the same with guys too. Because, I mean, even though guys were a dime a dozen, there's just guys that they're willing to take almost nothing. I know guys that work for companies for nothing.
That's insane.
They like work because they want to work with the girl and the exposure and the shit and the blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, but the dude that is hiring you for that is making all the money, not you.
Exposure doesn't put food in my stomach.
Yeah, it doesn't. So, and for some companies, it's like, that's why we don't get along. It's because like, I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to be your fucking friend.
Right.
Right. And it's just like, but that half of these companies, they want like this relationship where they want the crew to be their crew. They want it to be like a clique in high school where it was just, it's all them all the time, every day. We shoot all these people all the time for all these projects every single time. It's like, but it's like, that's kind of what we need to start getting away from, if anything.
Well, are you paying your crew every fucking time?
Yeah, well, usually they are. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once they have that crew, they stick with it. But then for guys like me who want to just do our job and work for everybody, it's like, well, sorry, I'm not here to be your fucking friend. I'm here to treat this like a business because it is. It's like, I guess that's not exactly the most popular opinion in the world, but I like my job, but I also do, I don't. If I'm not going to spend 5-6 hours on set, you better give me another day where I'm shooting. Because it's like more often than not, I'm getting shot once and that's it. It's like, okay, maybe if you shot me maybe 4 or 5 times, I'd be more of your friend.
Right.
It's just like, you gotta give respect to get it, I guess. I don't know.
Or at least give pay.
Yeah. Like, and more than once. It's like, okay, you hired me once. That doesn't make you a god in my eyes.
No.
Like, it's
cool. You hired me.
Yeah, the whole point is to keep on
hiring me.
Yeah.
You're not paying my mortgage with the one gig.
Yeah. So it's just and that's been the problem with guys and girls is because there's those guys and girls that are willing to to work for that much less, and it's you see it in the performance too, and that's okay. You know, I mean, sometimes you get these great scenes for not very much money, and I get the aspect behind it, but it's less like when you have a director every single day that's like, I'm going to be here today, all day, every day, you know, for the next like 5 days. I'm like, dude, you could just consolidate like most people do and just get these scenes knocked out or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. I'm not in charge, so I have no input, but
Right.
that's why
You're here to provide the penis and
yeah, I'm here to provide the penis and just, you know, do my own thing every once in a while. So, which has turned out okay.
so what stuff are you doing right now?
I'm just focusing on my ANWD site, the bradknight.com. That's mainly my main focus other than shooting. I have a lot of great girls on there that I've shot a lot of content with. Like next couple months, I'm going to be releasing girls like Dahlia Sky and let me see, like Layla Price and a few just girls that are just genuinely good that people want to see. So
Awesome.
it's gonna be a really exciting summer. I'm really excited to bring out these girls' content because a lot of these girls have never. It's funny because a lot of them, when they've told me when they've shot with me, they're like, I haven't done a lot of straight just blowjob scenes.
So when did you decide that you wanted to be the blowjob king?
I and it's funny that you call me that because that's kind of that's the rep I've gotten over the past couple of years. It's like, okay, if it's the blowjob guy, I'm going to Brad Knight. That's his thing. That's his niche. I figured that out actually really early.
You figured out like I don't want to do work.
Well, no, I figured out it's like when you do your own site, you have to have a niche. Like a lot of people do a site and they release boy girls, they'll release solos, they'll release blowjobs, they'll do this, then that. It's like you have to have one central theme.
Well, especially as a dude, you're just a prop.
Right. And for me, it's like I have my prop, but I found my niche, blowjobs, and I also am using a lot of different girls. It's not like I'm shooting with the same girl the entire time. Yeah, I'll bring girls back because the fans have bought this clip over and over again. They like to see them. But other than that, it's just like it's just being consistent and the multi-varietal choice of girls that these guys are true. Sometimes I even look at my own website and I go, damn, there's 50 videos on here. Like 50 girls to choose from. It's nuts. So it's a little bit overwhelming even when I look at it. So but it's awesome because I get to bring like what the fans want to them directly, like, you know, and I don't really charge that. I charge money for it, but not that much money. You know, it's not like I'm charging $20 for a fucking blowjob clip.
But why did you decide on blowjobs as your niche?
It was just something that I'd always been told that I was like good at. Like when I was shooting for Throated and like stuff like that, it was like the scenes would always just rate that much higher.
What constitutes a good blowjob scene? I'm just curious.
Well, it depends on the girl. Most of all, she has to have a genuine like interest in giving blowjobs more than like actual sex. The ones that give the best blowjobs are the ones that actually love giving head, sometimes more than sex. Like they'll like I just shot with Alex Moore recently. I don't know if you know her. She's like one of like a handful of girls that I know that will orgasm while giving a blowjob.
Okay, that's crazy.
Not having to even touch themselves, not even having to do it. They will get off solely on giving head.
Is it the visual for her?
I think it's like they get off on the giving of pleasure. It's the like
Well, God bless her.
I know. God bless all those girls. I swear to God. Like Rachel Rocks was one of those girls. Like Alex Moore was one of those girls. Like it's just Noemi today was one of those girls. It's just they love pleasing men, and it's just like that's why we love this industry so much, isn't it? It's just a reminder, and you come back to it, and you're like, yeah, like you know, Dahlia Sky, Layla Price. They have a genuine love for sucking cock, and that's half of it. The other half of it is kind of making it look good, making the angles and things like that. Like there's only so much that you can do with a blowjob, but you still have to make it look good.
Should draw a face above your dick.
I know, I really should. Just like a smiley face, like on my stomach.
Just to start doing just silly shit like
no,
your penis would be the nose.
No, the fans know it's me. now, and so they
can pick your dick out of a lineup.
pretty much, and especially when it comes to the blowjob stuff, they really, they know me for it now. So it's pretty, yeah. But I actually have a funny story about that. They actually made me put. I was doing like a bathtub scene where I was like this pervert plumber guy that like gets naked and like gets in the bathtub, right? So they like put these goggles on me, right? But then they also put like eyes, a mustache, and goggles on my dick. They had like these little like miniaturized goggles that literally could like fit on the top of this bottle. And I was literally like, where did you guys get these? I guess it was from like a Barbie doll or some like underwater Barbie or something like that. And they like had these little tiny goggles like over the doll's head, and I just put they fit perfectly on my fucking dick. So like I come out of the water and there's like these eyes and like the goggles on my dick, and the girl is like, oh my god. But like it was me and Carly Gray, and
Did they warn her before your dick came out, or
no, they told her we were going to do it, but it's like it took we had to do 3 takes, because like the first 2 I come out and it's like it's eyeballs and fucking goggles and a mustache like on my dick. Like,
and she just loses her shit, or
it's obvious. Like she turns around and she's like supposed to be surprised, but she just cannot stop laughing.
See, I would have just taken that take, but like, oh my god.
It's just like, but it was supposed to be like this surprise, like, oh my god. I'm like, oh, I think, but it was just like, yeah, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done with my penis. Trying to have literally scuba Steve my dick here, basically, is what I did. So.
So you should just start a whole site of ridiculous penis shit.
I know.
Goggles and
the goggles
other disguises
and thing, and just like, especially now, like I like today I could have put like, bunny ears and stuff on my dick and just like done a whole like, Easter egg fucking thing.
Or you could have jerked off into a Cadbury cream egg and fed it to her.
Yeah, could have done that.
A little obscene.
Yeah, it's all right.
Would have been a real cream egg.
It would have been a real cream egg, yeah. Next year.
Next year, or shoot it tomorrow and say it was on Easter.
Yeah, we could. But no, tomorrow I will be shooting for, who is it? Elegant Angel, I think.
Ooh. Fancy.
Haven't shot for them in a minute. But they're good people. With Miss who is it? Alana Cruz. Have you know her?
I do not, actually.
Okay. Well,
You're naming all these girls I don't know.
I know. You got to get them on the show.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm feeling my age. Like some of them haven't been around that long.
Yeah. Well, most of the girls I've mentioned, besides like Dolly and Layla and the girls that we've.
Oh, Layla's been on the show before.
Oh, has she?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. They're great girls though. All these. We gotta like. It's literally like half and half. Like we gotta, for every like terrible group of girls that we get like another great group like right after that. Like it's this cause and effect type deal,
I plead the fifth. I'm not going to call anyone horrible.
Well,
not on mic.
No, I wouldn't either. I can't think of anybody specifically. That's why the thing of beauty about this business is when you're horrible like that, you don't last very long.
No, everyone knows everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like we like to claim that we're huge, but we're not. It's really, really small.
It's a very big and small industry at the same time.
It's like a big high school.
Oh yeah, sadly.
It's like everybody knows each other.
Everyone knows everyone's fucking drama. Everyone knows you fuck up in this biz. Everyone fucking hears about it.
Yeah, it's a true story. I'll attest to that. That's why I've been kind of also having. That's why I don't really have too much to talk about. It's because overall I've been trying to keep a lower profile these days. I've just
so welcome to internet radio. Where
pretty much no, but I like talking.
Brad Knight is back.
It's like I am back. I've been keeping a low profile for just a little while, and I'm just trying to make my scenes better and just work for more and more people and just make things better for myself. It's been 4 years in this industry and I wanted things to change for the better, so I have
to ask. You can tell me to fuck off if you want. What happened?
I don't know. I just got really depressed for a long time, and the deaths of all these girls and stuff really didn't help with that either. As I was getting a lot better, this is when like the girls were starting to commit suicide. Like almost, what was it, 6 deaths in 6 weeks or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was just a ridiculous time. And then as I was doing better, it got 10 times worse when that shit started going down. And it just I took it out on the wrong people. And, if they do listen, then I would, I just want to apologize for that. I've been in a 10 times better place now. It's been crazy, like, honestly. Like, the people that talk to me, they go, you've really changed things. Like, you've really opened up your perspectives on stuff. And, just, it's been a lot for the better. I'm actually really happy about it.
It's good that you're in a better place.
Yeah, that's actually I have to pick my spots on when and where I go and things like that. That's why I ultimately go down to Mexico sometimes, because it's also obviously I don't get cell service down there, so you can just unplug down there, which is really nice. So sometimes you just have to like take a step back and just reevaluate and then just come back in. I did that for a while, where it was just kind of hopping around. Just honestly, it was like I felt like a pigeon. I was just shitting all over everything. And then you step back, you reevaluate, and then you just go, "Hey, I've been doing this for a reason. I love what I do. I shouldn't have to change. I don't want to leave." That was where it was getting to the point. It was like I almost left, and I didn't want to leave. I love this business way too much, and it's just the people in this business are really good, and I just have genuine faith in people. So after 4 years, I couldn't just throw it away. You know what I mean? So, but
it's hard to walk away from this motherfucker.
Yeah, it really is, and it's just like ultimately, I'm just trying to make amends with those people that I've hurt. I never meant to like actually make people feel that bad in such a deep-seated way to where now it's not like I can't talk to them anymore, and it's just really sad that I can't, because I really genuinely, it's like, guys, we're supposed to be like this tiny industry, like we talked about, like we need to kind of forgive and forget, as it were. And I just really been trying to get over that hump for like the last probably 6 months to a year or so.
Well, and hopefully they can. Unfortunately, some people can't.
Some people can't, and that's okay. I'm not mad at them at all, and I forgive those that have wronged me or done stuff. The thing is just now I just want to go on a new path, man. I'm just kind of I've been in a bad place for so long, and I just kind of want to want to make peace with everybody, man. Just peace and love,
Yeah, life's too short to hold on to that shit.
It's really too short, and this industry can get to you like that.
Oh, yeah, this industry can 100% chew people up and spit them out.
Nah. So it's kind of like, when you get a little bit of that, you kind of have to take it in stride, and, it's just, if I have anybody out there that's, thinking about joining the industry, it's just like you have to be one of the most mentally tough people in the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've had female friends over the years come to me and be like, I want to get in the industry. And first and foremost, I'm like, why? Why do you want to do it?
Why? Guys, too.
Oh, guys or girls.
Mm-hmm. It's like, why, though? It's like, really? Like, what's if you had to pick one thing? And more often than not, it's for some ridiculous reason that would never... It would make them not last in this industry at all.
Yeah, I want to fuck chicks. Like, yeah, bye-bye.
Do you want to spend 8 hours doing it?
Like, you do understand, dude, you're a prop. You're not there to have fun or enjoy yourself. You're there to be aesthetically pleasing on camera and make her look great.
Right. If she happens to be into you, good on you.
Yeah. She very well may not be.
Yeah. Because I literally had this, oh my God. So I had this, somebody told me this story the other day. So they're working for Brazzers, right? And they're dealing with Brazzers. And of course, Brazzers is one of the biggest companies in the entire industry, right? So they have these girls that come in and they specifically only work for Brazzers, right? And so one of the girls, she's, I guess, apparently so like afraid to shoot on camera or whatever it is. And apparently this is a girl that's been shooting for this company for a long time. She has to have her own private room, and she has to have basically like a comfort rabbit.
Like an actual rabbit?
Like an actual rabbit to like pet and calm her before she can even do the scene.
I wonder what her sex life is like in real life.
I can't even imagine, bro.
Like, do you need a bunny before we fuck?
Right, like a comfort animal, like before she can go and like get her like do the thing. It's the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. Like I was just like,
that's pretty odd.
I was like, so this girl like had to come and like get comforted by this bunny for 2 hours before she could even do it. It's like, yeah, this was like before makeup and all that stuff too. And I'm like, holy shit.
I have no idea who it is, but
they didn't tell me either because I'm pretty sure I would just laugh my ass off. If I found out.
Right. But I hope to fuck that she is A, an amazing performer,
right,
and B, hotter than the sun.
Right. Yeah. The way they made it sound though is that she was one of those girls though. But it was just hilarious to me. I was like, you need that. I was like, did you bring your own, or does somebody have to go get one for you to do that? How does that work? Like, yeah. So
well, and good on her for being able to pull that off. For people still hiring her.
I know. I was gonna say. Well, it's literally like you see that nowadays. Like some girls literally only work for Brazzers or whoever it is, and that's just what makes them that much exclusive or whatever. You know. Jeez.
Do you think we're ever going to see the Age of Contract girls come back?
Nope. Never. We're done. We're way past that. It's just at this point, it's just like fighting to survive. Yeah, that's what every company is. I feel like is trying to do right now. They're just fighting to survive.
Except Brazzers, they're not fighting to survive.
Well, I mean, they're part of an umbrella,
right?
I mean, it's like they didn't fight; they got beat. It's like,
well, they did the beating.
Yeah, they did the beating, but like they got beat. Like just like everybody else, they just sold out faster than a lot of these companies did.
Yeah.
But I'll give them credit. I mean, MindGeek's a great organization. Like they got their shit together.
And Brad's saying this with a straight face, everyone.
I'm saying it with a straight face. I was like, you got your shit together despite everything else. But yeah. I mean, it's just like when you have that many companies and you have that many directors working for them and that kind of crazy shit going on, it's like, yeah, maybe you deserve a little. Okay. Good job. Good on you.
But back to the people wanting to break into the industry.
Right. Back to that topic.
No, the couple of female friends who are like, I want to break into the industry. I'm like, okay, first and foremost, working in porn is not a protected class, right? Future employers, if you ever stop doing this, can 100% fire you for working in porn.
And they do.
Oh, yeah.
Often. Like, basically, if you have any connections on Facebook, even, you're done. Like, they use Facebook for a lot now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, male and female performers, if you need help locking down your Facebook, I can actually help you with that.
Yeah, the privacy settings are a bitch to handle, but once you get it locked down, that's the most private you can get, I'm pretty sure. Because it's not like Twitter where it's like you still have to request,
There's still some tricks. That I could get into. Jimmy Broadway was actually talking to me about possibly talking to APAC about showing people how to lock down their fucking profiles and just mitigate some of that shit.
Well, it's also the difference between having your actual Facebook versus having a porn Facebook.
Well, you should have a porn Facebook, your actual Facebook, and a third Facebook that is what your actual legal name is.
Right.
Well, the third one, you don't actually do shit with.
Right. You just keep it as a identity form, I guess.
Well, not even an identity form. So if people were able to find out what your legal name is and they go and harass and do things with that Facebook, it's all directed there to a profile you don't actually use.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. See, mine's, I guess I've gotten it to the point where mine is so private that you can't even it's like Twitter. You can't even do anything until I accept your friend request.
Right.
For me, it's like you can't even talk to me or send me even any sort of message if you're not my friend. Because people have tracked me down.
Yeah.
They I think my phone number got leaked at one point, so people tracked me down through that. But I'm like, okay, so my number just leads to my Facebook page. That's it. And then once you request me, I know all my Facebook friends. I only have 500-600 friends, and they're all mostly from either college high school or like in this industry.
Right.
So I'm gonna know, like, if you're, and I'll do like the random, I'll travel for the U.S. team, so I'll do the random like U.S. fan that like saw my name and they know who I am. It's like, okay, because they're fans.
Right.
Yeah, which is also another thing I forgot to mention. I travel a lot for that, which since the U.S. isn't in the World Cup this year, I'm not going to be traveling at all for that. But afterwards, like starting in like August, there's going to be a lot of games and stuff, because it's basically like once the World Cup ends, that's when qualifying for the next one begins. And it's really ridiculous because the next one's in Qatar, which is a slave nation.
Is that a dry country? You're really going to go watch
it is.
football in a dry country?
In the middle of the summer, no less.
Well, I'm sure they got enough money that the dome's air conditioned.
Yeah, but it's like you're still having to walk around in that country in 120-degree heat.
It's a dry heat. It's fine.
Yeah, going from venue to venue, though, you could collapse from dehydration. You know what I mean? Like, it would just...
It's no worse than Vegas in the summer.
It'd be fine. But you're just like... But, like, if you're traveling, if we're in it, we're not going to be able to get there. No American is going to be able to get to Qatar to go to see
definitely
this tournament.
You can. Why not?
It's just like... Well, it's even... Once you get there, it's like you're automatically targeted. It's a slave nation. It was like, especially if the women try to go over there, man, we're gonna be fucked. But I'm actually excited because we do have 4 long years for them to decide if they want to keep it there, and the runner-up is the U.S.
We're in the U.S. though.
We have so many soccer stadiums, man. I mean, we would make it work so fast. I mean, like, it's ultimately who decides is FIFA. So
corrupt ass FIFA.
So ultimately, they're just keeping it there to spite us. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason they got the bid in the first place. That's the only reason they won the bid in the first place. I'm pretty sure is because they just did not want it to be here,
or they just threw money at the problem. They're an oil nation too.
I was going to say Qatar's one. I was going to say top 5 rich nations in the entire world. Yeah. So, but it's just the fact that it's just like the second that they start they put any spotlight on it, it's like, okay, it's a slave nation still. Okay. And then if we're not in it, then it's going to be even worse, because then it's just like, then you got a quarter of the world not watching it. Like this year, I can't imagine the distribution deals that Russia lost. Like with Fox Sports and like ESPN and like all these companies that had so much money invested in overseas and things like that. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Getting back to the point, I'll have people where I've traveled to like Chicago, Philadelphia, New Hampshire, Connecticut, places that you don't normally get to go in our industry, and you just get to make friends with all these people through the spirit of U.S. soccer, I guess, as it were. So it's been a crazy past couple years being a part of that.
So what made you want to start traveling for U.S. soccer?
Well, there's a supporter club called the American Outlaws, and they have,
wait. Brad Knight, you're a soccer hooligan?
I'm a soccer hooligan. Yeah, it's been I've been a soccer hooligan since 2010. Actually, that was my first ever U.S. game. It was versus Ecuador down in Tampa, Florida. The American Outlaws didn't really exist back then because they were founded in 2007. So it was kind of like they weren't really around then. But now it's just gotten to this point where it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. So we were in Columbus, Ohio, November 11th, 2016, U.S. versus Mexico. Now, what happened in November of 2016? Trump just won the election.
I don't know. I started a bender. Around there. I don't really remember much.
Started a bender, but this guy named Trump had just won the presidency of the United States, and we were playing Mexico in Columbus, Ohio.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So needless to say, at the same time that we were going to tailgate for the game, there was a rally, a pro-Trump rally at the same time.
Oh, God.
Yeah. In Columbus, Ohio, at the thing. But it's so funny because it's like, yeah, you're in Columbus, Ohio, and you're having a pro-Trump rally, but you don't realize you brought Mexico to Columbus, Ohio. Those people fucked them up.
Like there were full-on brawls and
Like there was a straight up like U.S. versus Mexico, like pro-Trump versus Mexico brawl. Luckily, these guys like they were wearing like lucha libre masks and stuff like that,
shit.
and they were drunk as fuck off tequila. So I'm like, oh, these people did not realize what they just got themselves into. They just got their asses beat the fuck down. It was so bad, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, a week after Trump gets elected and you're trying to do a pro-Trump build that wall rally right next to a Mexican tailgate, it's not really going to work for you, man, no matter how big your numbers are.
that is pretty fucking ridiculous.
It was so bad, man. And then so after all that, like they got like we're on the opposite end of the parking lot, and these guys go up. They come up and they go, well, that was something. So do you guys want to drink with us instead? The dude brings up like basically a bottle of this like ghost tequila, and he goes, you guys want to do some shots with us? Because we're like hyped as fuck after beating those dumbasses. Like, and we're like, yeah. So we actually end up doing tons of tequila, drinking tons of whiskey, rum, whatever with these guys. They're still wearing the lucha libre mask the entire time, and it was a crazy ass game too, because Mexico won at the last second to win during that game, and it was just like going home after all that, and then the loss, and then just Trump being president. It was just a whole thing. It was hilarious though to just see all those people getting beat down.
So how many hooligan fights have you gotten into?
Personally, 2. That was one of them. I don't really consider that a fight because I wasn't really a part of it, but that. And then Chicago, we had a pretty decent hooligan fight.
What happened?
Costa Rica happened. They came. It was our first. It was the second game of this like. It was like a across the country tour or whatever you call it. Like it started in Santa Clara was like the first game against Paraguay. Then the second game was in Chicago against Costa Rica, and then the third game was in Philly against I forget. I think it was like Trinidad or somebody like that. So we're in Chicago. And the whole reason that we were in this fight in the first place is because the way that Chicago had set up the tailgate.
So are they playing at Soldier Field?
They were playing the game at Soldier Field, right? So if you've been to Chicago,
Maybe once or twice.
So you know that there's no parking lot.
Yeah.
So there's no place to technically tailgate at these games. So what they did is about a couple blocks down from Soldier Field, they had just basically like 5 or 6 bars dedicated solely to U.S. stuff. And, you know, occasionally Costa Rican fans would try to come in and take over, as it were. They're trying to make like one of the bars like a Costa Rican bar. So they would try to come in, and there'd be a lot of pride, but it wouldn't exactly work. And so like literally you just have this onslaught of just like Costa Ricans coming in the door at the same time as you have liquored up Chicagoans. Is that what you'd like? Chicagoites?
Chicagoans, yeah.
Chicagoans coming out at the same time. So inevitably there was just a fight broke out. So I'm literally like at the patio area right at the entrance, and these guys decide to come in. The Chicago guys are coming out, and they're like, no, you're not coming in the bar. We're not letting you come in the bar. They have the Costa Rican flags and stuff. We're like, no, we're not letting you come in that fucking bar. We're going to fucking kill you guys. So, like, these guys literally, one guy takes his Costa Rican flag and just tries to beat this dude's head with it.
Holy
like,
shit.
You just see, like, these dudes fighting each other, and then you just see, like, this flag coming up, and then coming over and like trying to whack somebody in the dude's head. This dude grabs it, pulls the flag back, and punches the dude in the face. Like, and like this huge brawl starts to break out right on the fucking streets of Chicago. We're like on one of the main streets, like 2 blocks down from Soldier Field. And so like everybody's fighting. These dudes are like jumping over the bushes that were sitting by the patio area. And I'm like, guys, this is like once in a lifetime. Like I'm just going to try to get something on this. So what I do is I just literally I grab my fucking Miller Lite bottle and I just run into that crowd and I beat it on somebody's head and I ran off. I was just like, ha 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 ha. It was so bad.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I was like, I just go and I just smash it on somebody's head, and then like he ends up fighting with somebody else because he thought it was him, and I just walk back and I go, well, that was fun. Let's go to the game now. And so, for Chicago, the whole march thing and leading up to Soldier Field was just fucking nuts. And especially after all that had went down, we got a police escort, like SWAT, straight up, because like after that fight it went down, they're like, okay, we're not fucking around with you guys anymore. Like people are clearly trying to come after you in Chicago of all places. And so before and after the game, we actually got like this full on police escort, and it was funny. Because originally, after the game, we weren't supposed to have it, but we were supposed to have this whole like, it's not the night before party. Technically, it's like the night after party.
So it's the after party going on.
Yeah, but what we did was that we actually had city trolleys, like sanctioned by the city of Chicago, like 3 of them, dedicated to about 100 people that had signed up for this thing, and it was literally we just went from monument to monument. Just getting fucked up along the way every single time.
Did you pee on a bunch of Chicago monuments? That's not cool.
I did. I may have peed on 1 or 2.
Did you pee on the bean?
Yeah. But I mean,
fuck the bean.
The cop was watching me do it though, so apparently they didn't give a shit. They literally were like letting us drink Woodford on the thing, and we were like bringing beers and everything, drinking on a sanctioned Chicago City trolley, like the wood ones where there's like no seatbelts or anything.
Okay.
So imagine 3 of those with like police in front and back, and there's like 100 hooligans just getting fucked up beyond our recognition, going to every major site in Chicago.
That is fucking ridiculous.
We went to the Beam, we went to Sears Tower, we went to Wrigley Field, we went back to Soldier Field, and then
What, you guys didn't go to fucking Sox Park? What the fuck?
Nah, man. And then we ended up at... Wait. There's 2 pizza places in Chicago. We ended up with...
There's a lot more than 2.
Well, I mean, like, we ended up with, like, one of the...
Gino's East?
The other one.
Giordano's?
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, we ended up there. That was, like, the last stop of the whole tour. And mind you, this is, like, 2 a.m. in Chicago. Yeah, we had SWAT standing outside the bar because like we're literally like in all American flag gear, like from head to toe. So you could literally like if the cops weren't there, they would have just picked us out all as a group and just taken all our money and shit. Like they would have. Honestly, we would have gotten mugged and fucking robbed, even if there was like a group of 7 of us.
You guys would have been fine.
Yeah, totally.
You would have been
literally,
fine.
No, it was like on both sides of the street though. There was like 2 like fucking envoys, and then these just 4 guys each just on either side of the street with just like AR-15s. They're just like, what up? Oh yeah, you want to try something? Yeah, go ahead. Like,
those cops were just enjoying their overtime.
I'm pretty sure they were, yeah, because it was just like, okay, so we're just basically watching a bunch of American hooligans. All right, fine. We were stuck in the bar. Like they were. Once we came outside the bar, they were like, and we're like, okay, fuck. Guy with a fucking AR-15. I'm not going to fuck with him.
Oh, back inside.
Yeah. It's too cold anyway. Way too cold in Chicago.
I know. That's why I don't live there anymore.
Yeah. It's in June, and it was 50 degrees. I'm like, what the hell? Walking down the street, and I'm like, I should have worn a sweatshirt. Like, I'm wearing a soccer jersey and a scarf, and I'm like, wow. Did not realize how cold it gets here.
Yeah. The weather's a little schizophrenic.
Yeah. Well, it's just super windy. That was the whole thing. It was just like, it would have been a nice day, like 70 degrees, if the wind wasn't blowing like 30 miles an hour. So.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Hal, before we did this, you were telling me you had a story about Woodford.
Right. Okay. We will get to the origin story of, this is actually the first year I started working in the restaurant industry. And Woodford has not really been around too long, right?
It's been around for a minute.
It's been around for a minute. Okay, so anyway, down south, I was working in a place called Boca. It's down in Tampa, Florida. Pretty sure it's still there. But and then I worked at a place called, now what's called Havens, but at the time was called Sideburns. It was an offshoot of this huge company called Burns Steakhouse. It's like one of the biggest, and they have one of the biggest like wine cellars in the entire world. Yeah, how long has Woodford been around for?
Working on that. The distillery was formed in 1867. So,
okay. Well,
I'm trying to find out when it, because it's a Brown Forman product, which falls under Jack Daniel's.
oh, okay. So it's been around, yeah. Anyway, it's been around a minute, but I guess I don't know, either down where we were or just down in the thing, Woodford was becoming the most popular whiskey in the entire thing. People on the East Coast had not heard of it. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe it was because Jack Daniel's was popular for so long. I don't know why. But up until about 2011, 2012, I'd never heard of Woodford Reserve.
Reintroduced in 1996.
Okay, so relatively
in the way of bourbons, relatively young.
Yeah, relatively young. So, this is around 2011, 2012. I guess just down in Florida where I was, it just wasn't popular. But then just as, Jack was just overdone and just people were looking for a nice kind of cheaper whiskey to go to. And so I'm working at Sideburns. And I don't know if you know about Tampa at all, but that's where the Yankees train.
Oh, yeah.
So the Yankees do their spring training down there. And so, a lot of them will go out to these bars or whatever, and they'll, get a quiet drink or whatever after training and the thing. So I'm sitting at the bar, and I'm serving people, and guess out of all the Yankees, guess who comes into the bar?
A-Rod?
Close. Derek Jeter.
Cool.
I actually have a story about A-Rod afterwards, though. So I'm at the bar, serving drinks. I just started working at Sideburns not too long. So, I knew my way around, but, basically he walks in, he sits down, he's got his manager with him, and they both go, "We want to drink." And I go, "What do you normally drink?" And he goes, "Well, I normally drink whiskey, but this guy over here, he drinks he likes the wine coolers." His manager, Derek Jeter's manager, is going to Derek, and he goes, "Yeah, this fucking guy likes wine coolers over here." I'm like, "So is that a diet thing, or are you just that much of a lightweight?" He just goes, "I'm just on a diet, man. I just want to be." He was so Tom Brady about it. He's just "I just have this specific plan, and I just I do my thing. My girlfriend doesn't seem to mind it too much."
Of course not.
Of course not. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I go, "So, Mr. Wine Cooler, would you like to share a shot of whiskey with your manager here?" He goes, "Well, I guess I'll do it tonight." And so I go. So the manager goes, what's your best whiskey? I've had X, Y, and Z, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I tell him, I'm like, "We literally just got Woodford Reserve." So I go and I pour him a little bit about this, about, 2 shots worth. And I go and he goes, "This is some good shit." And he gives it to Derek, and Derek just gives me that look like, "Am I really about to drink this whiskey right now?" This, you clearly can tell this is the first, how Tom Brady went on, what was it, Jimmy Fallon, and drank a beer. This was, you could tell this was the first alcohol that the dude had in forever. But he drank it, and then he just sits there and he looks at me and he just goes, "Wow, that's actually some of the best whiskey I've ever had." And I was like, "Well, Derek, are you actually going to get a shot, or are you just going to stick with the wine cooler?" He's like, "I'm actually going to stick with the wine cooler tonight, though. Thanks." He's like, he actually had to whisper it, because I'm like, "Yeah, because we don't want you getting any more shit now, do we?" So I had the luxury of actually being able to drink at work. So I cheered his manager, and I cheered Derek, and he's got his little fucking wine. We didn't have wine coolers at my restaurant, so we just gave him regular wine, and we just go, "Cheers." It's just a really funny story to hear about how such a famous athlete can drink such a pussy drink.
Hey, enough of that pussy drink will get the job done.
Apparently it will, yeah. But he didn't drink much of it. A-Rod, however, is quite the drinker. He not only knew about Woodford Reserve, but he was giving me advice on what I should start giving people to thing. I think it was because he was with 2 girls at the time. He comes in, he's got 2 girls over their arm. I guess one of them was a pro wrestler. I cannot remember her name right now. But it was It was like a Trina Michaels. It was one of the most famous girls, one of those. You know what I mean?
Like fucking Sable or some shit?
Yeah, it might have been. Like, I don't know. It was literally like, yeah, like they were telling me, they're like, yeah, that girl's like a famous wrestler and like that's her girlfriend or something. And I guess he's going to go bang both of them after this. Like, that's what he was telling me. Because like, when you're a bartender, you're like best friends with the servers.
Of course.
So, I go up and I'm like, I'm going up and I'm serving my Woodford and stuff. And A-Rod eventually like gestures over towards me and he goes, hey man, I know you guys got this Woodford. Honestly, this is the best move you could have made. This is the best stuff I love to drink right now. He's like, honestly, if I wasn't with these two girls, I would be drinking this with you right here, right now, at the bar, alone. I'm like, wow, it's quite a compliment. He's like, I saw you at the bar over there earlier. Like, you're doing a really good job, and I would honestly like love to have a drink with you. And I'm like, really? Something. So
he's trying to fuck you too?
I was thinking, so I'm like, either that or I'm like, you're really trying to impress these girls right now. So like I bring over the Woodford and I bring over 4 shot glasses and the girls took them too. And like he goes with them
But Woodford's not a shooting whiskey.
It's really not, but like A-Rod made them. Like
A-Rod mouth raped those girls? That's not cool.
That's not cool, man. But no, he was so cool though. A-Rod I thought was 10 times cooler than Derek Jeter. He actually like after the shot he goes, obviously like he's like he gave me like a $50 bill and he's like take this and like go and
he stuffed it in your bra?
Yeah, he stuffed it in my bra because all I had was a t-shirt at the time and I just go okay, thanks, but I grabbed from the bottom of my shirt and I go, thanks man, but yeah, I was like, well, the only thing you could really do for me, bro, is probably get me Yankee tickets, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's like, you come to New York? I might be able to make that happen. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
did he follow through?
I was like, yeah. Well, I haven't been to New York since, so I would never. Plus, he's retired and a newscaster now, so
he's still got to know a dude or two.
I would think, but I would have to probably like see him and have to bring up that story again just to remind him in the first place anyway. So I don't think it would
just
work.
Tweet at him with a picture of you in Woodford, like,
you remember
Florida?
You remember this like 4 years ago? like 5-6 years ago now. Jesus Christ!
Like 6 years ago, before my penis was on the internet.
Right? They're like, check it out, bro. It's like I could hook you up, man. I could seriously hook you up now. Like they needed my help.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Money's a much better lubricant.
Well, the thing is about what Burns has is that Burns had this separate place called the dessert room, right? Where you could go and like get dessert and a cappuccino and all this stuff. And it was like this huge thing. And they had these like private rooms that were like made of wood. And you could have like, this privacy and like the door would close. And so what I would hear pretty often at Burns is like Derek Jeter would bring 1 or 2 girls to this dessert room place and they would close the door and he'd fuck them in there.
Well, good on him.
Yeah. I was like, okay, if you're going to do it, you bring them to the most fancy restaurant and fancy dessert room in the entire state, pretty much. But yeah, I was like, yeah, in the dessert room.
Hey, it saves on bringing them back to where you're staying.
I guess so. I guess that was the idea because...
Which was it A-Rod or Derek Jeter that gave girls gift baskets after he fucked them?
I think that was... I'm pretty sure that was...
I guess I can Google this.
Yeah, I guess you can Google it. I was like, I don't know if that... Because Derek Jeter apparently fucked a lot of girls.
Hold on. Oh, no, it was A-Rod.
It was A-Rod, yeah. So...
Oh, no, wait. No, I Googled A-Rod gift basket and it came out Derek Jeter denies giving gift baskets.
Okay, so it was Derek Jeter accused
Derek
of it.
Jeter.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because, Derek Jeter would he would come to the college that I go to and like run on the track and stuff, and like girls would run up and like try to like get his autograph and all.
Well, they knew there was a gift basket in it.
Yeah, they knew there was something in it. So, but his house was like a mansion that was only like 3 miles away from the downtown city of Tampa, and he still has that house there to this day. It's one of the biggest houses on what's called Davis Island. It's like this little like sub island right off of Tampa. It's 3 times bigger than any of the other houses. He literally was just like a big ass fuck you to the rest of the neighborhood.
Well, good on him. Shit, if you got fuck you money, you got to use it.
He basically does. Yeah, imagine that's where he spends most of his time now. Shit, I mean, Tampa's awesome. So, but yeah. So good times with Woodford, good times with the Yankees players, man. They're good people. I mean, Derek was kind of, but A-Rod was awesome. He was a good dude. I would definitely love to had to actually sit down and have a drink with the man. That would have been awesome.
Well, hopefully you can do it again in the future.
Hopefully, he's not dead yet. So
Nope, neither one of you are. Fuck it.
nope. And it's I'm thoroughly enjoying myself right now. So
Awesome.
well.
Brad, we're actually going to wrap it for the night.
Okay, I was
Last
going to
call.
say this was fun though. I had a blast.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Where can the audience find you on social media?
They can find me on Twitter at BradKnight_XXX. They can find me on Instagram at TheBradKnight, and you can also find me on OnlyFans at onlyfans.com/BradKnight_XXX.
You should watch Brad get his dick sucked.
That's a great thing that happens on TheBradKnight.com, which is my Manibiz website.
Awesome. Brad, thank you again for doing this.
Thank you again for having me, Matt.
Of course. And as always, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. and Slayer on Facebook. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. Do us a solid, guys. If you're enjoying what you listen to, subscribe, go to iTunes, rate us 5 stars, tell your fucking friends. We want more fucking drinking buddies.
Absolutely.
And we will continue to bring you the ridiculous shenanigans and drinking stories from all your favorite celebrities. I guess you're a celebrity, Brad, right?
Yeah, celebrity.
Wow,
Whoever.
I didn't mean. Wow, that came out kind of wrong, didn't it?
It's okay.
It was like celebrities.
We're minor
question mark.
celebrities in our own way. I mean,
No, for sure. But seriously, we will continue to bring awesome drinking stories
from some of the best people.
from the best people, not some.
Best.
The best people.
The best people. There you go.
So, enjoy your drinks, everyone. Good night.